I know. I get.
Oh, I'm on? I'm on? Oh, well, Jesus, why didn't you say something? All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour right here on A2DRadio.com. Very festive mood that we are in.
Off to a great start already.
Oh, yeah,
We're
absolutely.
wasted already from that victory. I love it.
Oh, so we are the Hockey Happy Hour. Matt Tsutsuti, the Darkwing Brian Daly.
What up?
For another therapy session. And on over here, the broken one, Mr. Rob Povia.
What's up, people?
And behind the board is the sign guy, Mr. Ryan Brodo,
Hello.
who's about ready to jump out through the window here in the studio as he's watching a very tight Sixers-Brooklyn Nets game.
Yes, you might hear crashing in about 5 minutes.
Yes. And we will be in memoriam if need be. Luckily, most of us have some kind of version of black on, so we'll be in mourning. But anyway.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. We are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. If you have any aches or pains or whatever, if you play some sports or you're working out and you got a little like stinger in the back or what have you, hey man, don't panic. All you got to do is go to Dr. Paul Vidal. You can find him at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and you will have no more of those aches and pains. All right.
Chat's heating up already.
Nice. Well, gentlemen.
Started off nice and early. I love it.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it when the fam is here to give us all the love that we absolutely love to give back to them. And, gentlemen, there's a lot of love to go around. The Flyers coming through, sweeping a home and a season series for the first time ever against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are easily becoming slowly one of my more hated teams in the Eastern Conference because they're that damn cockroach that no matter how many times you step on the fucking bastards, they just keep coming back. It's just like, what is it going to take for the Columbus Blue Jackets to go back to being that shit team in the West that probably should have never existed in the first place? I would love that. One less division opponent that we actually have to compete with would be very pleasant, be a breath of fresh air.
Tell that to face paint dude that was in the front row tonight. He came prepared, man.
He did.
I love it. I respect that. No matter what the fan base, I respect that. You come to a game with face paint, you're okay in my book.
Is it because you wore face paint to a Flyers-Devils game?
Correct.
So.
And the Flyers did win that game, so, hey, props on that one.
Robert S. shut out
So you
in
have
New Jersey.
respect.
Nice.
So you have the respect for David Putty, who indeed paints the face for the Devils.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All
I
right.
have mutual respect. I just hate the team. But I love hockey fans.
I don't know. Did you catch my reference?
I did.
Okay, good.
I was trying to skim over it.
All right. I was making sure. It's the way you reacted. I had to be sure.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we are lighting up on the chat. I'm going to have to get to some of these early.
All right, then. Well, with that, the Flyers sweeping the season series, sweeping the home, getting two more crucial points, getting the extra point in overtime over the Columbus Blue Jackets, who did get one. So they are kind of keeping pace with the Flyers, but we did put more distance between us and them. And we got hopefully a little bit closer to Washington if they lost tonight to the Montreal Canadiens. Not sure if they did or not, but we'll let you guys know that a little bit later on when we do the live scoring update.
Last I saw, it was 1-1.
1-1. Well,
3-2 Habs.
And Ovechkin did have the goal, so he's at $6.99.
I saw
boy.
it a little later. Habs were still up 3-2. I think it was mid-third period. So we'll get to that round of the league.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we do our live scoring update when we go to Around the League. But before we do that, since the chat is blowing right the fuck up, we might as well start talking with some Flyers fans out there and some of the A2D fam. Go
Oh,
ahead.
we got more than Flyers fans. I mean, we got Ricky Galone. What's going on, boys? Great win for the Flyers tonight.
What's up, Ricky? How's it
sir.
going, man?
We got Rob Brinkman, who you can catch on Sports Hounds on Monday night at 8 o'clock here
Hey,
on
Rob.
A2D. Says, I got to see the Flyers do something. They need to get the third seed in the Metro.
Well, I
think
mean,
with the way things have been going, especially with the way the Capitals have kind of been falling, Flyers might be able to compete for a second seed.
I do. I think so, too.
if we get second place and we have home ice, oh my God, that'd be such a great thing. We haven't had home ice in fucking years.
Well, dude, 12 out of the last 20 games are going to be at home. So I think they can go on a real run during this playoff push. 3 of the next 4 and 6 of the next 9 are at home as well. So
I love it. This is great. I love it. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep, we got Damian Price, my boy from down under, saying, hey, guys, have a top show. Go Ducks till the day I die. I'm right there with you, Damian.
What's up, Damian, man? And, hey, good luck to you guys when the draft lottery rolls around. Hopefully you get the number 1 overall pick.
Apparently it's a very, very good top 10 pick this year, so I'll be happy with the top 5. So
hey, well, then there you go.
So I still want Alexi Lafreniere. That's my –
But still, man, congrats on that future pick.
David Rosca says, what's up, boys?
Rosca.
Hey, Rosca.
Let's see where we at. Yeah, number 8 in the power rankings. That was as of today, I believe, Rob.
Yeah, that got put out. That's why I was saying that before. I mean, I respect Brinkman's drive. You know, don't be complacent now. Keep going. Put the foot to the floor. But let's give acknowledgement of the run that they've been on.
Yep.
8 in the NHL in the latest power rankings. And like I said, to that effect, I think they can rise even further with all – I mean, they've been phenomenal at home.
Absolutely. They've been absolutely awesome at home, and they showed a lot of guts and determination in a building that's not easy to play in the Nationwide Arena. Going in there, getting an OT victory. Yeah, point went to Columbus, but we got 2, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
They've won what? 2 of the last 3 or 3 of the last 4 on the road, too, so they're starting to turn that little luck around, too.
Absolutely.
That was the major concern I had going into the second half, but they've been seeming to get that under control.
And it's not like this game was a 3-1 Flyers lead where we let them creep back in. They could have happened on Tuesday night, but they kept their foot to the floor, to be redundant there, and held on to that lead. And then in this game, they came back to tie it. So, you don't want to sacrifice points in these Metro Division battles, and there's going to be a lot of them down the stretch. I believe 12 in the Eastern Conference and 9, well, actually 8 now against the Metro. I'm fine with the point based on the game flow.
Yeah, absolutely. Flyers showing a lot of what's that? What's the word for it? Intestinal fortitude. I think is the appropriate word.
Resiliency is the one I like to use.
Resilient,
but that works too.
Yeah.
Let's see where else we at.
Just on a wrestling show, so that's why I said that. But anyway,
we got Albert Armstrong chiming in saying, "Got my questions ready. Very important ones too." Oh, right. I forgot about that. I knew that was. I should have known that was going to happen. But yeah. So he's very big on some of the rumors that have been going around.
Okay, then.
So Johnny Gaudreau, and we'll get a little more in depth into this when we get into the trade talk a little later on here in the show. Johnny Gaudreau apparently removing the Calgary Flames from his Twitter account.
Yeah, I've been told me about that, and
it's a work.
It's a work. It's like John Moxley going to AEW. It's all a work. It's not real. Well, he's going to go back to WWE any day now.
Well, I mean, apparently, it's the beginning of the year, he said he wanted out.
Which is interesting, but I guess he must really either not like the coaching. Well, I mean, no, not many people.
Well, the coaching is better now. I mean, they climbed back into the rankings. They're in the playoff hunt.
They struggled very early on. I mean, I don't know.
And I think a lot of that had to do with their head coach.
Yeah, but I guess he still is committed. He still really doesn't want to stick around in Calgary. So I guess it must just be the culture there. He's just not a big fan of it.
Yeah. So, real quick for some of the fam that was watching on Facebook that jumped over to YouTube with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties on Facebook. We'll be right back on there shortly.
Yes.
So tonight, I thought the Flyers did a very good job of showing resiliency. I thought they did an even better job against Tampa Bay. That seems to be the trend of the season for them. And I know I bring it up just about every show, but it's the truth. This team doesn't seem to know when to quit.
No.
There's games where they get completely blown out from the start, like the Devils game, which was by far their worst game of the season. But they don't usually give up. They find a way to climb back into games and either take it to overtime or take it to a shootout.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, and I liked what they did. I mean, I thought the game was going to go to a shootout there because we were getting to those dying seconds there of that overtime. But Kevin Hayes, man, he is definitely worth that freaking money right now.
Our Lord and Savior Kevin Hayes, is that who you're speaking of?
No, that's Carter Hart. But you know,
Mr. Discount double check.
He did do that discount double check. That was sweet. He didn't have to do that.
Let me see that belt.
He didn't have to do that. He just added that little spice in there at the end just to turn the knife a little bit deeper on those piece of shit Columbus Blue Jackets. I love it.
That's piece of shit happens with him, man. Kevin Hayes brings the style points, brother.
Yeah.
I do apologize for anybody who did leave a comment, we're unfortunately not going to be able to get to right away. Try and chime back in on them a little bit later on. So we got Joseph Horakovsky. Try that again. Horakovsky. Have you all been talking the entire time we were all offline? Yeah, because we were still live on Periscope, Instagram, and YouTube, so we had to keep going. We didn't stop.
As well as
unfortunately,
all of our shows on ATD Radio are recorded and uploaded on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Did I say Spotify?
Yes.
I think you did.
Well, I'll say it again.
We're everywhere.
Spotify.
We're everywhere.
Yes.
And by the way, we're on Spotify.
I've just been meaning to bring that up during our show for the past couple weeks, and I always forget. I was like, boom, Mick Foley, shameless plug, bang, bang.
Bang, bang. Yeah.
We got Stephanie Ann joining us again. What's up, Steph? Saying
Steph.
nice and so much better. Referring to our
Hooves.
little. Oh, no, this wasn't Hoover.
Oh, that was not Hoover.
No,
It was
she's the next
Stephanie
one.
Ann?
Yeah, Stephanie Ann.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Steph.
Our Tampa Bay Lightning friend. Yeah, Stephanie Hoover here says, I prayed the Lord baby Jeebus. I accept the Venmo, fam. I do too. I got Cash App too, so yeah, I'm just saying. I got options.
Not trying to say I'm asking for money, but just letting it out there.
I'm not asking.
Yeah.
I'm not asking, but I'm just saying. Stephanie Ann says, so how about them Bolts, win streak, and some moves?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
like that move. We'll talk about that a little bit more, Steph, so stay tuned in.
Tampa's been, that was a team that, man, when I was looking at the standings earlier in the season, I was thinking, like, how the hell is Tampa not in the top right now of the Atlantic? And then, man, they're finally turning it right back around, and it's like, Jesus, this is the Tampa Bay team you don't want to face off with. But anyway.
Mike Dean says, back for more. Well, good.
Good.
That's what we want. We want you to come back.
We're
Keep
happy
coming
you're
back.
back, man. Keep on coming back, man. We invite
It smells like
everyone and
Febreze.
encourage everyone to keep on coming back.
Is that a good thing?
Well, yeah, I don't
Then
dislike
it's
the
me.
smell of Febreze. Is it you?
No, I have no idea.
What's wrong with
Febreze?
you?
It's just I got a whiff of Febreze or something.
I don't know. I could search the premises if you would like.
This is,
No, it's not that serious. I just
what did you
really
take before
weird.
you came?
Crack,
Oh.
little
Crack.
little.
We're just gonna mute that. We're just gonna take that
Did
off.
it have?
It was a little pill. It had an E on it. It was I don't know. I thought it was
Oh, it didn't have Bugs Bunny on it.
no.
Oh, okay.
Yucky.
Yucky. Yucky's right. It's doing things to my brain. Eileen Pompey. Hi guys, Flyers, baby.
Yeah.
She also wants to know where you got that Flyer scarf, Rob.
She loved it in the video
She
too, in the live
loved it.
reaction.
Oh, appreciate that. No, I got this for my sister for Christmas.
What
So
the-
I represent my fam when I wear this every week.
Nice.
So I'm assuming Ocean County Mall.
But
possible.
Hey, but shout out to Pove's sister. Thank you for getting him that scarf.
Yes.
Albert Armstrong
It's a
says Johnny Hockey has his bags packed. They're packed. We just don't know if he's going anywhere.
Oh, don't
yet.
worry. We'll talk about that.
So I got 4 days, Albert. Relax. I don't even want to know what you're going to be like on Monday. You already blowing my shit up as it is. That'll be an interesting day on Monday.
Oh, I need to know what the context was of this. Stephanie Hoover goes potheads.
It was a little stronger than pot. I'm just saying.
Hey-o. Oh, from what you were
Hey-o.
saying before. I
Oh
gotcha.
yeah.
I'm clued in
What
now.
else we got? Someone doing ecstasy there. Well, not really.
Little hookers
but
and
just-
blow never hurt nobody.
Seriously. Hookers and blow is a great combo to start off a show.
That's my
Just
line.
saying.
Hey, Maddie. You
Also
know what it's
scumbag.
time for once again? It's time for the sin alarm. Don't think I forgot about the sin alarm.
Oh, we know all about your sin alarm there,
Yeah.
Mr. Good Clean Living, Ryan
Yes.
Brodo. Very conservative man.
I'm looking at sin.
He goes to church every Sunday, sings the hymns.
What makes you think I don't?
Your actions.
I mean,
Enough.
to be fair, he could.
I mean,
still,
you do
he-
hookers and blow once, and it becomes a part of your lifestyle.
One time.
That's all it takes. It's one time.
Once.
I only did
One
it-
time.
I only did it that one time. That's a lie. I did it 6 more times. But anyway.
All right, we got to get back to some of these comments and talking some hockey here. Enough hookers and blow for now. We'll come back to that. We got Mike Dean saying, oh, wait, no, that's a comment to Albert. I pretty much said the same thing. Joseph Horakowski, how much of Flyers being so good at second, third period comebacks do you think have to do with the other team taking their foot off the gas? Sorry, let's try that again.
That didn't sound so funny, but okay.
No. It's not the quiz. Proto. Ah! So he brings up a very good point. How much of the Flyers being good at second and third period comebacks do you think have to do with the other team taking their foot off the gas?
It's possible that other teams are doing that. I mean, I think the one I recall mostly was the Toronto one when we scored like we ended 3-1 like towards the very end of the third period, and then we scored like 4 more on them. Toronto just said, fuck it. It's like, we lost, take it. We don't care. We didn't want the 2 points anyway.
And that's the makeup of that team. That's why I'm down on them. They phone it in at points in time. And, you're going to get that because you build off a lead, and you're going to change your game plan now. Now, should you? I don't think so, but you're going to play a little bit more defensively sitting on a lead. So it does contribute a little bit, but I don't think that's the main reason. I think this team almost needs to get down, to get fired up, and to show that resiliency. And also, when they do have the lead in games, they have that killer instinct. That's why they have one of the best goal differentials in the third period in the NHL. So it's a good sign for the playoffs. But if it takes having to get down in order to get fired up, you're not going to win consistently enough like that, especially when it comes to playoff time.
I don't necessarily think that they like to play down. I think they play that feeler in the first period more times than not.
Right.
And after they play that feeler, they know what they're getting to into the second and third period. And then from there on, that's when they really start to build it and really start to know what they're dealing with, who they're dealing with, how the power plays click in. Stuff like that, and then they build off of that, and you just see them get better as the game goes on.
The only time I can ever really recall this team really playing down to its competition was when they rolled out and they faced New Jersey in Philly, and they played like absolute shit in that game. And it's like, you played down to the Devils because they're dead last. And they can try and spin it like, oh, well, we were trying as hard as we could. We really were. Like, bullshit. You played down to them because you know that they're in a shit area and they're doing bad right now. It's like, don't BS me.
Well,
so you played down to them. It was as simple as that.
And it happens.
And what you're saying about the Devils game is correct, but I don't think it's necessarily playing down. I think it's coming out flat. I don't know how many games I've seen this year where, could it be a feeling out process? Sure, but I've seen lack of hustle, lack of energy, lack of winning the battles in the corners, and you saw that again tonight. Actually, you saw that minus a 10-minute period in the first period for the better part of 2 periods where they were getting outworked by a workman-like team in the Columbus Blue Jackets. So I think they come out flat, they get down, and then they get fired up and they show their resiliency to come back.
And I'm not disagreeing with that because I see that too. You saw that even a little bit in the third period tonight. Even though the Flyers did start off on a 2-man disadvantage, you still saw even when they went back to even strength, Columbus was still moving a little bit and buzzing, beating players to pucks, outworking people forechecking really well. I mean, and then obviously you saw what happened the rest of the way.
I think that would have happened no matter what. Even if the Flyers came in and were ready to go immediately. And the reason why I say that is because Columbus had so much to play for in this game because they absolutely just dropped a deuce in Philadelphia and failed miserably in that game. Right. So I think they were going to come out swinging no matter what.
I'm sure they had to feel better.
Yeah.
I'm sure they felt better
From
after that.
Tuesday sitting in the first wild card to now sitting outside, that's how big these games are down the stretch. Yep. One game puts you comfortably in the playoffs or comfortably out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Got Frank Vespi chiming in saying, did somebody say hookers and blow? Paging Yuri Laterra.
I'm glad we got your attention.
Yuri Laterra.
Michael Wesley Chromiak, our boy Chrome, we can catch on Birds of a Feather on Tuesday and Lazy Booking just before this show. This is a show. It's not a game.
You have the Sixers game on in the background. So
we do. Maybe that's what it was. And Brodo's going nuts over here.
Brodo's going into spasms right now. The Sixers.
JoJo!
The Sixers and the Nets are now going to OT as it is 103-103.
Crum goes on to say, it's weird. I'm not saying, Maddie, earlier that I almost feel more comfortable when the Flyers play from behind. It is kind of weird that way, though.
I mean, he did say that. He said, I love that. I don't feel comfortable when this team has a lead. And to be fair, I think there's a lot of validation to that because the Flyers have been known to get a little lackadaisical when they've been dominating a team at times, but it hasn't been as pronounced
this season
as it was
because of that goal differential.
Yeah.
I mean, last night I saw it was plus 22. That's phenomenal.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was, I believe it was plus 20 going into today.
Yeah.
Which is like the first time the Flyers have really been a plus in that double digits in a while, actually, because
so start feeling comfortable, baby.
but in
Because they're finishing teams.
Yes,
you know?
they are. And to be fair, and I do understand that justification of it because of the fact that beforehand. Last year, the year before that, the Flyers would get lackadaisical on teams when they had them down, and it's like you cannot do that against any team. I don't care if it's the bottom-feeding team of the NHL, especially them. They got nothing to play for. If they want to rain on your parade, they're going to try and rain on your parade. You got to shut them down too.
Well, listen to these numbers, Maddie, and this goes to show how big it was Flyers tying it up with those 2 goals towards the end of the second period. Flyers, when trailing after 2 periods, are 2-20-4.
Wow.
When leading or tied after 2 periods, 31-0-3.
Wow. They've been crushing it.
Damn.
So,
Anyway.
if we really do wind up getting a second place start and actually have home ice on a team, we may actually finally get a semifinal berth for fucking once.
It could. And depending on the moves made at the deadline on Monday, which is only a couple days away, you could be sitting second, possibly even first, depending on who they get and how fast they click, and to make sure it doesn't, and make this whole thing crumble.
And depending if Washington goes on a trail towards the end of their season, which has happened to teams where they've been playing strong all in the beginning of the first half, you see them start to slowly decline into the playoffs. They come in absolutely cold, and they get their asses just crushed. Happened to Minnesota. Few years back, they were leading the division. They rolled in cold. They were out in 5. It was that easy.
Yep. Chrome goes on to say, the way this team gets better as the game goes on is just wild.
Speaking of Minnesota.
Right? Fired their coach, Bruce Boudreau.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That happened within the last week.
Yes, sir.
It was coming. It was coming a mile away.
I think it was long overdue.
Yeah.
Eileen says, Flyers, the comeback kings. Mike Dean says, I'm still not used to those comeback kids. They've disappointed me too much over the last decade for me to get used to it. Slowly converting, though.
That I understand. But, hey, remember, this is the same club, not the same team, but the same club that managed to come back from 3-0. So, yeah, anything's possible with the Philadelphia Flyers.
Joseph said, it seems to me like AV told Friedman to ice the puck anytime he touched it.
Yeah, I will say they did. I will say that they iced the puck way too much in this game. And they also kind of were undisciplined in this game, too. They got away with shit, but they got called for a lot, too. And they were down 2 men at one point. And it's like, okay, listen, I get that it's a heated game, but you got to be under control. Even if the refs aren't calling shit against the other team, it's like, I don't care. It's like you got to play discipline as best as you can because you don't want to give that team an inch.
Especially the way the Blue Jackets come. They come with a strong physical type of game, which can get underneath your skin and allow things to get chippy, especially around the net. We saw a few skirmishes.
Yeah, Niskanen was the one that comes to mind for me with that slash that he had on Gustav Nyquist.
Yep.
Whew, that hurt me.
Man.
He missed the glove. He didn't hit the glove.
Right.
He hit him right square in the wrist.
And that's a veteran, new to this team, but a veteran in the league. So I'm a little appalled by that. Some of the things with Mark Freeman icing it a lot of young players on this team.
Yeah.
You're going to see that. And that's been, I think, the Flyers' major Achilles heel is their puck management, especially in their own zone.
And you saw that when they changed up the pairings to get Friedman a little more comfortable and settled. They swapped Haig to put on the first pairing with
Right.
Provorov, and they put Niskanen on with Max Friedman.
Yeah, within Mark Freeman. Yeah, within the game, switching around a little bit too, and it was a good call. I mean, fortunately, this is just a one-game fill-in for Freeman because I believe Braun was just out with the flu today.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so hopefully he'll be back on Saturday against Winnipeg.
Brian Wilson chiming in, which you can catch on Agree to Disagree on Sundays. Fly guys, 2 huge wins. Let's go, boys.
Yeah,
That's
baby.
right, Wills.
Stephanie Hoover says it's funny how silly our fan base is. I had to literally bring up the CBA section today in regards to Ghost, and they still don't believe me. As regards that Ghost is no longer on the block. He will be, because he's on a loan to the Phantoms.
Right.
He's ineligible to be traded.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a Flyer for the rest of the year.
Yeah, he'll clear waivers after the trade deadline. But what it does do well is doesn't that take it off the salary cap hit right now while he's loaned?
I think
to
he does.
Yeah,
I think
it
it does
does.
come off.
So that might give them a little more wiggle room to pull off like a minor deal. Like I'm sure we'll get into this in a little bit more, but or unless you want to get into it now. I brought up Nick Bonino a few shows ago, and the more and more I'm thinking about it, I think it's a better fit than trying to get a sniper for the top 6.
Yeah.
You get a quality center iceman in this league who fits in with the Flyers' balance. I believe he's sitting between 15 and 17 goals on this season, and I don't think you'd have to give up as much to get a Nick
No,
Bonino.
you won't have to give up as much, and he could be your third-line centerman. And you
Right.
can keep Hayes, Couturier, and Giroux as your essentially top 2 centers.
You have to at
if
this
they
point.
need to pull a deal. I mean, they're playing well. You're gonna get Patrick back eventually. I wasn't counting on him before, but based on reports and things I've been reading, I'm counting on it a little bit more now that we will see him before this season's end, and certainly for the playoffs should we make it.
Yeah,
we
well,
were
this
just talking about
division-
that
as
last
good,
week, too,
as
brother.
good as they're playing, and as many teams are on pace for 100 points, they can play well down the stretch and still miss the playoffs, even sitting at third in the Metro right
because
now.
of how fucking abysmal our division is. And this is before the New York Rangers are ready to be competitive. So keep that in mind, too, because the further we get closer towards that, then the Rangers are going to get better. And it's like, oh, shit, just tack another one on.
And they're
I don't
creeping
want
into
to.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Last I saw, they were at 64 points. Not too far behind the pack. I mean, there's a lot of teams to leapfrog, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think 2-3 years from now, oh my God, it's going to be so annoying because then that's just going to be another freaking team to deal with in the Metro. That's going to be really good. That's going to be tough to deal with.
Well, let me give you're going to be shocked by this because you know how much disdain I have for John Tortorella.
Oh yeah,
But I got to give Torts credit, man. The coaching job that he's doing this season is phenomenal. They currently have 9 players hurt on injured reserve, including Seth Jones.
Seth Jones, Cam Atkinson, 2 of the biggest players on that roster.
Right. You traded Panarin, or he signed with the Rangers.
Panarin
right?
signed with the
yeah.
Rangers.
yeah.
Duchesne signed with Nashville, and Sergei signed with Florida.
Right.
And I think
yet they're still in the playoff picture. So what I wanted to ask you guys on the show, do you think John Tortorella is in the Coach of the Year conversation? Or is he a shoo-in even?
I think he should get nominated. And I'm not a big fan of Totes either, but I will admit, I think he deserves it only because of the fact that they did lose a lot. When they lost Ryan Dzingel too, did they not?
Dzingel, he went to Carolina, but he was only a rental anyway. They weren't expecting to keep him.
You get my point, though. Like, they lost a lot of talent, and they lost Sergei Bobrovsky, too, and that's the big one right there because that's your goalie, and that was the guy who was getting Vezina trophies out there.
But Jesus, man, Elvis Merzlikins, man.
He's doing well, man. He's doing real well. Although the Flyers put him on the shelf the one game, which was, I will admit, that was kind of enjoyable. But,
what we've seen as well as he's played, and it's a young goaltender as
Yeah.
well, but unlike our young goaltender in Carter Hart, this guy can get rattled. Well, I believe he had a run-in with Raffle behind the net.
Yeah, and he never got settled.
He never got settled, and then 2 goals on 2 shots later, the game's tied.
Could have been called the penalty, and I think that's why he was rattled so much. Not necessarily the hit.
Oh yeah, he was
but
chirping
at the ref. It's so funny because me and Ryan were talking about this last week. Eileen says you should have dancing girls in the studio.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. They're gonna
Now
go
we're
right
recruiting.
here.
Yeah.
They're gonna go right here next to me.
hey, if you could find any applicants, feel free. Send them our way.
All right, here's a great question from Frank Castellucci. Too early to tell who we might face first in the postseason. As of right now,
Washington.
It's going to be Washington.
Which, to be fair, that's actually a very good matchup for us because we do play Washington very well. We played them very well last time we faced them. For whatever reason, we're doing much better against them than they had. When they had Barry Trotz, they were in a whole nother class than us, and we could not keep up with them. But ever since Trotz left, Washington has not been the same.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They're still a very good team. But I think losing him was a tough loss for them as a team.
They're in a stall mode right now, and it's really starting to hurt them, which you saw them make the move the other day for their defenseman Brandon Dillon, which I think is really going to help.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that's one of the parts that they've really been suffering in is the defensive side.
He comes from
But-
San Jose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
strong defenseman. Yeah.
Burley
man.
Yup. What else we got here? Just give a shout out to Chris Castro. Chris, what's up, man? He says too close to call right now. We're replying to Frank. We have a request from Albert.
What do you think though? Is it is it
I
too
think
early to tell?
I think right now it's too early to tell. There's still going to be a lot of movements in place, but
Yeah.
if we were to end today, they're playing Washington.
So many points jam packed
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Metro. Like if you look at it, there's what 7 teams in the Metro, 8 teams in the Metro.
But
So-
7 of them are still in a playoff push.
right.
let me see here.
So
There's
it
balls.
could really go anywhere because I think the Islanders are still within a couple points. Columbus is still within a couple points. I believe Florida's in a wild card spot right now, which obviously, unless the Flyers get like a top seed,
Yeah.
they won't
Actually,
see
from
Florida
last
anyway.
night's game, they got back into third in the Atlantic, which pushed Toronto out of the playoffs again, and Carolina snuck in to that wild card.
Which
me-
Toronto did
position.
play tonight. Pittsburgh, I don't know the results. I know
Right.
Toronto scored at least once.
Well,
Yeah, they were up
we'll let you guys
3-0
know
on
that.
Pittsburgh, I believe, in the
Yeah.
middle of the second period on my
So-
way down here.
So I'm going to take a look here at the standings right now, and we'll just run down the list real quick of guys that the Flyers could potentially wind up facing. So obviously Washington, that's the obvious one. However, though, if the Flyers were to suffer a game loss, even if you lose 2, you're in real trouble. If they fall back into the wild card spot, they could wind up either drawing Boston or they could wind up drawing Pittsburgh in the first round. And who knows? Maybe if you jump Washington and another team jumps Washington and Washington falls far enough to a wild card spot, which I'm not going to say it's not out of the realm of possibility to happen this year with the way Washington's been kind of slumping here. I don't think it will happen, but they've been slumping bad enough to where it could happen, where a lot of the teams behind them are competing a lot harder right now, and they seem to be getting more of the wins than
There's
they
still
are.
plenty of time for them to turn it around, though.
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
only
absolutely.
They might be going
February.
through
We still a whole another month and a half.
Yeah, they might be going through a rough part of their schedule. Not being familiar with the schedule, that's where you can really see the trends and how they're going to fade.
Absolutely. And I'm saying I don't think it'll happen, but the possibility
Hey, it's there.
is there. And so to say that the teams that the Flyers could wind up drawing then would be the Columbus Blue Jackets in a playoff series, which would be a playoff series. That would be a bloodbath, 110%.
76.
So we do have a request from Albert.
Yes.
He says, please give Gritty a second to shine. He's been waiting for his intro, just sitting there. Wait, he's standing.
All hail, Gritty.
Oh, hail, Grady.
I knew you were always innocent.
I think we all knew he was innocent.
Definitely.
Joseph Horakowski says, I was screaming at my TV when Friedman had a turnover with like 8 minutes left in the third. Why is he on the ice right now?
Let me. And then the final couple of teams that we could wind up drawing would be the New York Islanders and the Carolina Hurricanes.
Please, not the Islanders.
I would not want
Do
the
not
Islanders.
match up
The
well.
Islanders is the one team that's like our kryptonite this year. We cannot beat them.
Yeah,
I don't
0-3,
know.
right? With 1 game left. Yeah.
They've won the season series against us. Hopefully, we can get at least one freaking game against them so we can have some kind of confidence.
Played them competitively, though. They're competitive games, especially the last one to come back and tie that game before the heartbreak at the end.
Yeah, true. It's just that's the one team. It seems to be
So fast.
Yeah, there's that one team you face all year. It's just like we're fucked if we face them in the playoffs. The Islanders are that team for the Flyers.
Oh, hey,
right
look,
now.
hockey.
Yeah, hockey going on
Yeah.
between Florida,
FLA.
which actually is very good for us to watch right now because Florida's fighting for their playoff lives at this point in time.
Yeah, they should win this game. Though.
And then they're facing the Kings are dead last. But then again, who knows? Maybe Florida will, screw it up, or Bobrovsky will let in a softie like he's done all freaking year. So,
Eileen, Stephanie Ann was in here. She was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she's still here or not. I know she's been watching the Lightning game out. I believe they're out in Vegas, which I thought they were tied up at 1-1 last she gave us the update. A little bit of boo love in between her and Steph Hoover.
Nice.
Not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous.
Very nice.
Cheating on me. Greg Milakovic says, "What's up, fellas? Good win in
Greg.
OT by the boys tonight. Both boys at that." Oh, Jesus. Here we go. David Raska, how many times are you going to tell us that Anaheim lost to Florida? It's like the 5th time, dude.
All right, well, that's going to end.
By the way, Anaheim lost. Hey, Brian, by the way, Anaheim lost to Florida.
They've lost to everybody. I don't think
Did they play tonight, Brian?
I don't know.
Did they play last night?
I don't know.
Anaheim?
Yes, they did play last night.
I think they did, actually.
Against Florida, right?
Was that last night? That might have been last
Wait a
night.
minute,
Did they
you
win?
didn't know?
I was just
No.
going by Roska's
Wait.
comment.
Oh, they didn't
Wait.
win.
That's what I'm assuming.
Oh, they didn't win. Oh,
I don't
wait.
know. I stopped paying attention.
Wait a minute, you didn't.
Bottom dwellers.
Wait, you didn't know that your team played last night?
Nope.
Come on, man. It's just because your team's down in last place, you're gonna hop off the bandwagon.
Where
now?
is your
Come on,
allegiance?
man.
Oh, I got my allegiance. I'm still repping.
Yeah, but
Reps?
you didn't watch them.
Why
There's
would
a
I want to
team-
watch
there's
bad
a-
hockey when I got good hockey to
A
watch?
true fan watches his team when they're shit. I still watch games in
I
2007.
still watch the highlights. I watch the highlights.
I watched games in 2007. I shouldn't have, but I did because I'm a damn committed fan.
I also don't-
suffered through that.
I
season,
can't get
just
to
like
my
Rob
NHL.
did.
Hold on, time out. I can't even get to my NHL account right now because my PlayStation Network has been suspended. I can't even get online.
Oh,
What did
that's
you do?
bullshit.
What did you do?
That's not what I did. It's what somebody did to me.
It sounds like an excuse, doesn't
Somebody
it?
somebody hacked my. I got the email on my phone still. You want to see it?
No.
Somebody hacked my account.
I help you on that phone too many times. I don't need to see it again.
You helped me one time. One time.
Too many.
There was a
This
couple.
was like
of,
6 months ago.
I don't forget.
There was a couple of documented
you really
cases
don't.
of this.
What else we got? Joseph Horskowski says, "I know y'all keep talking trade deadline. I don't think they need to make any moves."
I'm starting to side that way, or like I said before, if anything,
Oh,
a
Damien's
bottom
supposed to be on
six
my
guy.
side.
I think honestly,
Well, I'm just saying, like, depth move. Like, I'm not saying you go out and make a splash. Or
That's-
like Albert, who's
yeah.
all over Johnny Gaudreau's dick right now for some reason. Like, I mean, I get why he's a great player, but
Yucky.
you don't need to. You don't need to make a splash like that. This team is playing well with what they have.
And unfortunately,
A depth
I'm
move.
going to say this right now. I hate to say this, guys. I know exactly where Johnny Gaudreau's going. He's going to be a New Jersey Devil. He's going to the Devils. It's happening.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to them.
I'm sorry. It's happening. I know it is. Either he's going to the Devils or he's going to the New York
Yeah,
Rangers.
you're right.
He's going to one of those two teams. He is not coming to Philadelphia.
Devils got picks to trade, baby.
They do, and I think that they will have enough. They have enough to sweeten the deal. Not that we don't, but I think that they're going to ask way too much of us to give up for him. And no, I'm not for that game. Absolutely not. I will boo Johnny Gaudreau. I'm fine with that.
Well, to the right, Johnny Gaudreau. But going back a hot second to the poll question that the Flyers won't make a trade deadline move. Are you agreeing or are you disagreeing, Maddie?
Honestly, I don't really think we have to be honest with you. Right now, I think we're fine where we're at. Depth is one thing. I don't think we need to make a big splash. We'll be fine. Like, if you do the Bonino thing, fine. That's a totally depth move.
That's a third line move.
Yeah, that's a depth move. I'm fine with that. I'm behind that. If you're going to make any big splash, like if you are going to trade Shane
hey,
Gostisbehere,
girl.
which since you're not
No,
doing
not you.
since you're not doing it at the trade deadline, you do it in the offseason, which we may see that, we may not. I don't know 100%.
I
But
just became a Hurricanes fan. Sorry.
If we do, boy, man, your team's in dead last and you just hop on to Carolina all
well,
of a
if
sudden.
you saw her, yeah, absolutely. No,
Dude,
you still went back too far.
I'm not looking at her.
No. Oh.
She's nice.
yeah, she got the Flyers hoodie on.
That's my point. See, we have allegiance somewhere. Hello.
Let's face
My
facts.
allegiance is to the prettiest girl in whatever hockey apparel. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Exactly. Let's face facts. Any woman in any hockey apparel
Yup.
is okay in my book.
Yeah, but you don't switch
But go
team
forward a little bit more.
allegiances.
No, I'm not actually switching allegiances. I'm
You
just
just
saying.
said you became a Carolina Hurricanes fan.
Can you fast forward to her real quick? Can you stop?
Torture.
Steph saw it too. She knows what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. Hey, man, listen.
Have a good night, Eileen. He just took. For those who did not just see that flash, Ryan Brito just took a picture. Look at her.
Ooh.
Fiery little redhead.
Tutto bene.
Hey, listen, nothing.
Fiery little redhead. Let's go. Holy shit. All right. Joseph's the only one here talking hockey tonight. I love it.
What up, Jeff?
And I hate it at the same time. But, all right, so he actually goes on to say I'm not in 100% in love with Farabee or Bunneman. Well, I think Bunneman is just kind of here because but they are okay.
He's a role
And
player.
Why can't Sanheim keep a puck in at the blue line in the O zone?
I think you can.
I think
I mean, there's times where there's been puck mismanagement, and I get that, but you're gonna get that even from your stars. You're gonna see Provorov.
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah.
Like if rolling puck might not
Right.
be able to sit on your stick well enough. You know, it happens.
Sanheim's still very young, so it's like I'm not as worried about him as I am other players like Gostisbehere who have been struggling. I'm more worried about him than anybody else.
And I disagree about Farabee. I just see a player getting better and better
I like
every game and
Farabee.
playing with a level of veteran maturity for a youngster.
He's
him
not-
and Knack, man. Nicholas Aube-Kubel, man.
Cabell, yeah.
I mean, he
killed
just-
us
Kubel's
tonight.
been finding the back of the net lately, but with Farabee, you see him doing some of the little things right, winning puck
Yes.
battles, forechecking very well. He's doing the little things right. He's not finding the score sheet, but that'll happen. That'll come in time.
It's like, guys.
It's the little things that keep him on an
and here's
NHL
the thing.
roster.
Guys. This is Joel Farabee's first time on the Flyers. He's never been a Flyer before. Relax. He's got plenty of time to turn into a stud.
Yeah.
Just give it some time. Hey, Coots was here for a long time, and we all thought he was a bust. And then Hackstall came in, and that man started lighting up the fucking lamp, and he's been doing it ever since.
Right.
We thought Coots was a bust. He was a late bloomer. So just saying right now, guys, calm down.
Yeah,
calm down.
I mean, it's important. I mean, you're going to go by the score sheet, and that's certainly a hee-haw for a lot of fans out there. But it's the intangibles. It's what you're seeing a player do when he's not on the score sheet and how he's helping your team. And that's what I see guys like Farabee and Knack doing, man. I mean, Aube-Kubel.
They stayed up here for a reason.
Right. He's just such a great combination of power, speed, puck handling, and shooting ability. And you saw all four of those on the second goal for the Flyers tonight.
Yep. He says move Farabee down to the fourth line and move Knack up to the third.
I could dig.
That's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that move.
No, absolutely. By the way, wait, where the hell did I leave off?
But that line has had good chemistry, though. With
there
Hayes
it
and
is.
Konechny and Farabee, that's been one of the better lines.
yeah.
I don't know if
This
I
next
want to
one's
break
for
that
you.
up, but I mean, this team is very interchangeable. There's a lot of good chemistry throughout the lines.
Oh, absolutely.
It has been, yeah.
Ugh. Ooh, he
Yeah,
caught him square in the
Foligno
face.
Broken
yeah,
nose.
He took a puck right off the face.
That's
Yeah.
what you get for scoring.
Yeah, that's what you get for
Remember,
that
there was a
between the
point in
legs
time
score.
when they would do the between the legs goal, and there would be like a huge brawl afterwards. It's not
Yeah.
like that anymore.
'Cause
No.
it was-
Tomas Hertl was the first one to do that.
Yeah, leagues change, man. It's a skill game now. It's a skill league.
There
You
used
want
to be-
show that.
I mean, there used to be a time when
That was a hell of a goal, too, man.
It was. It was
There-
a very pretty goal.
There used to be the time when after if you celebrated after a
Hit it.
goal.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember-
Discount double check.
Yeah. So,
Let's go.
Like, think about it. Back then, if you did shit like that, there was a time period where your ass was meeting you were meeting the fighter in the group after that one.
Yup.
Like, seriously.
By the way,
How can I
Steph
help you?
saved it. Steph saved it to her phone as well.
Oh, very
Just
good
so you
stuff.
know.
Very good. Very good.
Just saying. Eileen
We can
said,
trade. We can trade.
Eileen said, "Got to pop back in real quick. Women look great in Flyers jerseys with knee-high socks. Just saying, we look pretty
Agreed.
good.
Agreed.
Okay.
100%.
Listen, don't start
hey-
something you ain't gonna be able to stop. I'm just saying.
I think that wins. That's breaking
Breaking news.
Yeah.
She is correct.
That's not really breaking news. That's common knowledge.
It is to you.
Not
It
to
is
me.
to you.
Based off of your actions during that commercial.
No.
No, she's talking jersey and knee-high socks. Nothing else.
I'll allow it.
Or just knee-high socks.
That I already knew. I'm
Yeah,
just
I'll
saying.
allow it.
Just
I'll
saying.
allow it.
Just describe, like, a couple thousand wet dreams from 13-year-old boys right now, and myself.
34. Been there, done that, amazing. Just saying.
Been
Yes,
there,
sir.
done that, amazing. And bought
Joseph
the
says
shirt.
Farabee hasn't been able to hit the broadside of a barn with the wrist shot. But again, going back to what we were just saying, he's not finding the score sheet every night, but he's doing the little things right.
He's
There's a reason why he's staying up on this
young.
roster.
Young. I will emphasize that a million more times. There are so many guys who are so young on this team. They're not going to always be offensive contributing. Give them time and let them, grow into their role, and they'll be fine. As long as the Flyers are getting 2 points in the standings, that's what really matters at the end of the day. Let Farabee mature. That's all I have to say about that. Let him mature. Hey, Konechny didn't necessarily light the lamp up in his first year, but look at him now. He's lighting up the lamp this year.
Third straight year with 20-plus goals.
Yeah, so there you go.
So apparently Knack is dating a nice girl.
Is he?
Can I have one? Hook a brother up. Just saying. Single,
minute.
ready to mingle.
You're ready.
Just
You're
throwing that
ready
out
to
there.
switch fan bases on the base of her fandom.
No.
That's what you did. It's what you did, man. Do we have to go back to that commercial and see? We can look at the tape. You became Carolina
Oh,
Hurricanes
please. It
fan.
wasn't serious.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't.
Serious
You
about
I'm
her,
sure
though.
it
said it.
wasn't at all.
I did say it. I'm
You
not denying. I'm not
said it.
denying I said it, but I.
But you
Does
speak
that
the
mean
truth,
your
and
words
you
don't
spoke
mean
the truth
anything?
right
Is that
there.
what
My
you're
words don't-
insinuating?
My
Freudian
words
slip.
don't mean anything.
All right. Well, at least you're willing to admit it.
You guys make me aware of that every week.
We make
Just
you do
saying.
nothing.
We're innocent.
Joseph Horakowski says, thought we were a slower team, but with TK, I think Knack might be faster than him. And did you see Voracek roar down the ice during the 3-on-3? I think that may have been the fastest I've ever seen Voracek skate.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I'd like to see more of that. Thank you. Please, Voracek.
Okay, so Albert wants to know, what's the biggest need that you think the Flyers could improve on, and who fits the bill realistically? Not Johnny. Sorry.
Offensive depth, and that's pretty much it.
Nick Bonino would be realistic.
Yeah, that's the only thing the Flyers really need is just a little bit more offensive depth. Defense-wise, I think we're doing just fine.
Maybe J.G. Pageau, I think, would be a realistic option.
Sniper.
I was having a conversation with Brad Ryer earlier this morning about, and this is completely unrealistic because I know that they're not going to let him go anytime soon, plus his cap hit, plus how much time he has left. Possibly the Flyers working out a deal to get Anze Kopitar, which is not happening. It's not realistic.
What? That's a pipe dream and a half. Hell no.
I get his
money,
points. His points were, they're a team that's rebuilding. He's 32 years old. Make him an offer. What's the worst thing that can happen? Like, I get it. But at the same time, it's a $10 million cap hit
Yeah.
for the next 4 or 5 years.
No. And keep in mind, we're going to have to
You have to give up a lot to get an Anze Kopitar.
Not only
A
do we
lot.
have to give up a lot, but then think about this: whatever young talent we do keep, we're gonna have to eventually re-sign them and have to deal with that cap hit. So it's like, no, that would be a stupid thing for them. That's a Paul Holmgren move right there. That is a Paul Holmgren sell the future to win now. That is exactly what he would have done. In
Steph,
that
I'll
case.
take it. I will take your offer.
What's her offer?
I'll send you an anime girl, which sounds weird, but y'all would agree. Oh, man. Jeez Louise. Hey, there's Stephanie Ann. Sounds like Yanni Gordy's goal slump. Still did all the little things. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
little things that count. It's not always getting yourself on the score sheet.
Yeah, everything. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
There she is. I knew she was around here somewhere. I believe you. I believe you, Steph, that he's dating one. I would like one for myself. I'm just saying.
Get good at hockey.
Well,
It's
Well, that's a
easy.
long shot.
There's
It's
a
easy,
hockey
God.
player
That's a long shot.
that's dating one of the better women's golfers right now, too.
Do you know which one?
Nelly Korda, whoever's dating Nelly Korda.
No. I meant the hockey player.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say.
I know who the
Because
female
I
is.
have
know
no
who
idea who she
I know
is.
who she is.
Like,
See.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, the guy doesn't matter to me.
Oh, speaking of, there's my
He's just
girlfriend
in the
there. Hi,
light.
Jackie.
Yes. He means nothing to me.
Miss Jackie Redmond.
Exactly.
pretty good.
Exactly.
Bravo.
He means nothing to me.
Right? Right?
I'll do research. I'll figure out who he is. I'll find him.
Research that up there, Brodo.
Steph Hoover says,
I got him.
already?
Listen, man, I don't mess around.
Who?
Johnny Del Preti?
Johnny.
Oh no, that's Jessica Korda. Never mind. I'll come back.
All right.
Say, that's not.
We'll just give it another second and a half. I'm not even going to get through Stephanie Hoover's name again.
Go.
Go ahead.
She said Anthony Duclair, which I think is realistic for the Flyers as well.
I would like Anthony Duclair in Philadelphia. That would be nice. And he's actually young, so I would take that.
Vegas is up by 1. So 2-1 Vegas.
Okay.
Alec Martinez's new home. I know. I'm upset. I mean, not
It
that
does
we-
me no good.
I'm not really that upset.
Yeah.
It does me no good.
I didn't want another D-man.
There's no need.
Yeah,
you have
like-
too many as it is.
I was more into the Toffoli thing, but now I don't care.
Paging Ducks fan.
That guy.
Oh, Andreas Athanasiou.
Oh,
really?
Anthony, see you?
The greatest
Nice.
name
Wait, is this
hockey.
her?
God damn, we got to have that guy on the Flyers.
She's cute. She's real cute.
Anthony, see you. If you're watching this, your girlfriend's hot, and also,
Relax.
we would love for you to come to Philadelphia, man. I would love to have Anthony see you on his
Actually,
Flyer.
he'd be a pretty decent role player for,
I
for
would.
the Flyers
I
as
would.
well.
I will buy an Anthony CU jersey. I don't care if he's only here for 2 years. I will still buy that damn jersey.
Has his name been on the market?
His
Yes.
name is on the market,
Yeah.
absolutely. I believe he's a free agent at the end of the year.
Oh.
Joseph
I
Horakowski
hope we
says
sign him. I really do.
NHL posted an Instagram post, and it was a video of Crosby versus Ovechkin's first matchup ever versus each other. Leclerc and Recchi in Penguins jerseys make me sick.
Ooh. That was that year.
I remember
wasn't
that.
it? That's right, because Leclerc was done with the Flyers. He signed with the Penguins. Recchi went back to the Penguins. Yeah.
That was like his third stint with the Penguins or something like
Yeah.
that. It's an
Yeah.
exaggeration, but
Yeah, it was something
There's only
like that.
two.
Because he had like 3 stints with the Flyers, too. So it's just like, actually, yeah, I think he actually did have 3 stints with the
let's
Flyers.
get to some trade talk now.
All right, then. Well, hold on. We got
Finally feel
2
the colors.
minutes. So what we'll do is, here's what we'll do. We will bump the live scoring update to now, and
Okay.
then we'll come back with some trade talks. That way we got more time for it. So go on ahead,
All
Brian.
right, sounds good. Caught me off guard here. Give me a second.
That's all right. Take your time. It's not
While
like
he's
we're doing.
looking that up, I could give you guys something, a
Sure.
piece of information, too, that I heard on the radio broadcast on the way down. Flyers have killed 16 of 17 penalties over the last 6 games, which they had fallen from top 10 in penalty kill down to as recently as low as 14th. Now they're back to 11th just from that recent run.
Nice.
That's another recipe for winning hockey and why you're seeing a nice run right now. You know,
Killing penalties helps win championships.
absolutely, especially if you're playing a little undisciplinary, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so I got the scores up here now. So we're going to get into the games that are final, and there are a small handful of games. Obviously, we know the Flyers won by his final score 4-3 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Maple Leafs shut out the Pittsburgh Penguins by a score of 4-0.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Nice. Good on you, Maple Leafs. Good on you.
The Devils win by a final score of 2-1 over the San Jose Sharks.
Come on, Sharks.
Canadians beat the Washington Capitals in overtime by a score of 4-3.
Les
got a point,
Habitants. Au revoir.
Right.
Thank you.
Jets beat the Senators by a score of 5-1. We are actually just watching the highlights of that one. Shifley has a hat trick in that game. And the Blues shut out the Coyotes, which is really irrelevant for anybody in this room. To the Blues, 4-1, who I believe, who did they just trade for? Marco Scandella, I believe, made his debut tonight.
Oh.
Uh,
Scandella, I have not heard that name in a while.
2 games in progress. He's got traded twice this year. 2 games in progress. Kings are tied up at 2-2, coming close to the end of the first period. And the Golden Knights, about midway through the second, are up 2-1 over the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Well, for staff out there watching, hopefully the Lightning will come back and win the game for you.
Yeah.
Fine with that. Win the President's Trophy. Get swept. in the
Gotta
first
love
round.
that curse. PK Subban has had a goal for the Devils tonight.
I'm just angry because you kicked the tails off the Flyers, another fast team. Actually, what's weird is that the Tampa Bay Lightning became like the late 90s, early 2000s Flyers, and we're like them in the early 2000s. We're a speed, little light-bodied team. They're just brutes, man, Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, my God.
You got to like their chances to redeem themselves in this year's playoffs.
But you know what the difference between Tampa Bay and the Flyers are? We can beat the Blue Jackets.
Cha-ching.
So there we go.
Damn.
Zing.
Yeah, what up, Trevor? Says sweep those fucking jackets.
Trevor Harris, what's up, baby?
Trevor, where you been, man? Where you been?
It's important that he's here now, though.
Working
Brian.
It is.
Oh.
Listen, I appreciate when
Don't
he's here.
chase away our fans.
I'm the one who brought him here. Just saying.
Yeah, but you're calling him out.
I'm saying asking him where he's
I
been.
think Trevor's like an honorary fourth host from a remote location at this point.
He is. That's why I'm asking where he's been.
Hey,
We miss him here.
Hey, Trev, man, how's it going, dude?
We miss you here, bro. The last couple of weeks, we've been missing you. Yeah, there you go. Scandella making his debut.
And remember, door's always open for that guest spot, brother. Just let us know.
All right, so yeah, that's it for scores
Andrea
and comments.
Helfrich, that's great. Joseph goes Flyers guy. Andrea Helfrich, how do you pronounce her name?
I think it's
Last name?
Helfrich.
Helfrich, yeah. And Taryn Hatcher. Yeah, these are good points. Definitely some assets. I'll throw Katie Emmer in there, too. I'll do it every show.
Listen, Katie Emmer is growing on me.
Yeah, it's all right. That French Canadian.
She's growing on me.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see it at first, but I'm starting to see it now. I'm still a Taryn Hatcher guy, and I'm still very much a Jackie Redmond guy. All right, I need 5 minutes to myself.
Hey, now.
Discretion is advised.
There it is.
Right. Too bad, clean.
Well done.
That's everybody listening right now. Oh my God!
No, that's the sound Daly is going to be making during commercial break. But anyway,
I'm just like Heath Ledger
gonna
as
be
the
painful?
Joker.
hey, listen. No.
You'll survive. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's either that or this. It's either that or this. It's up to you.
That might be a little bit closer to reality. But
The sound
anyway,
I make when I pee in the morning.
Oh, good gracious God.
what the hell? What the hell are you doing that's causing that kind of pain? You got kidney stones?
It's the hookers and blow. It's the hookers and blow. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Syphilis is a bitch.
All right.
I almost just saw my morning coffee again. And it's weird because I haven't drank coffee in years. Very confused right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We need a break.
All right, we're going to go to break.
I didn't order that macchiato.
I don't remember eating that. What is that?
I didn't have
Whose
any
is this?
Oh.
Who are you? Anyway, Maddie, back to you at the news desk.
Thank you, Brian.
Oh, God. So what are the chances of
cop,
Vancouver
you
making
idiot.
the pick that Tampa traded for them in 2021 pick? Oh, he's been working at 5 a.m. on Friday mornings. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So
Sorry, Trevor. We appreciate you when you're here, even if it's for 5 minutes. We love you, brother.
we love you, Trev. Like I said, doors open up for the guest spot. All right, guys. All right.
Joking.
I'm sure that's not the first time either.
Oh, good, Maddie, go. Go, Maddie, go. Now I'm done, Maddie. Go. Run, Maddie.
I'm sorry.
Maddie,
All
run.
right, guys,
God.
We're going to go to break. When we come back,
The insanity will
gonna talk
continue.
about- Brian, shut up. All right, when we come back, we'll go over the trade deadline.
More hookers and
all
blow.
the moves. This is called. This is called role reversal. Usually it's me who needs to shut up. But anyway, all right. So yeah, I bet not. But anyway, all right. So we will come back. When we do, it'll be trade deadline talk, and after that, we'll bring back the beloved segment from the Hockey Happy Hour. Pastime, none other than the penalty box. That's on the other side, folks. Until then, we are brought to you by. What was the name of that new sponsor again? Hold on. Sorry.
Ambucks.
Ambucks. Thank you. Thank you. That is why you are the sign guy. All right. Ambucks Services for gutter cleaning. You give them a call at 856-879-5530. Or visit them on the web at www.ambuckservices.com. If you need to get those gutters cleaned out, nobody else better to go ahead and call.
Quick question for you, Maddie. Winter time. You want a nice little hoodie?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
All right, so if you want a nice little hoodie, go to phillydrinkers.com. Yeah, you can grab it. Go to phillydrinkers.com. They have all the A2D merchandise you can get.
Okay.
You can get a zip-up hoodie like the one I have here. Have that on. Kobe. You can get it real nice.
Too
Fumble.
soon, Brodo. Too soon.
Long sleeve T-shirt. You can get the no notes on the back. What's this? Get a nice little polo.
Oh, look at the photos.
All at PhillyDrinkers.com. All your HUD merchandise and the hoodie, which I was talking about. Hashtag no notes. PhillyDrinkers.com. Get all your HUD merchandise there. They have all kinds of other stuff too. Hats, mugs, stickers, pullover, half zip-up jackets. It's all there. So check them out. Get your HUD merch.
When did this turn into the QVC?
About 5 seconds ago.
Yes.
Yeah. That wasn't the original plan, but I just went with it. I thought it was a good idea.
Yes.
Show it off.
Yes, absolutely.
We should apply. I'm pretty
Great
sure.
stuff. They did a great job with all this merch. It's,
And the hat, too.
And the hat, too. It's great. It's awesome.
Don't
Love what
listen
they
to this
did.
man. Good thinking.
Yes.
He knows not what he speaks.
Just what I know.
Yes.
But anyway. All right. So
PhillyDrinkers.com.
we will be back after this, folks. Go catch your breath. See you guys in a minute.
That was so metal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hockey Happy Hour. We are live from the Real Talk Studios here in beautiful Runnymede, New Jersey, in the dead of winter, in a freezing cold night, but a red-hot night for the Philadelphia Flyers on the ice. I am Master Sudi, along with the Darkwing Brian Daly.
What up?
Fresh off of his fiasco. And right on over here is the broken one, Mr. Rob Povia. And behind the board, Brian's partner in crime, the sign guy, Mr. Ryan Brodo.
I think I have a concussion.
Man down.
It happens.
No, heart no
Too
damage.
much
But anyway.
head nodding.
All right.
My brain.
And we are brought to you by...
Stephanie says I'm nodding my head too.
Nod
just
responsibly,
happens.
staff. Nod responsibly.
And we are brought to you by ATS Sports Pick. Not Picks, as I always thought it was. My bad. But it is pick.com. And, we like you guys to make some money. And sometimes your job, with the taxes and everything, you miss a shift or, your boss is just a cocksucker and won't give you your raise.
Slap
but,
with the bass.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, it happens sometimes.
Damn.
But, hey, you know what? There's a way to make some money on the side, and you don't need to increase your hours. You don't need to find another job. No. All you have to do is go to atsportspick.com and make a little money betting on some games. It's a great way to make some cash.
100%. What I love about A2D Radio, it's the only place in the world where you'll hear cocksucker during a live read. Love it. Even though I can't say it very well, love it.
It's true.
That's a very fair point.
Yep.
Hey,
We're
man,
edgy.
we've all been there, though. We've all had that boss that was a cocksucker. So we've all been there. Anyway.
Yeah. Ooh, hi.
Speaking
Lauren
of that.
Gardner. She's another one.
Anyway.
Well, the problem with pausing it, okay, well, I mean, it went away, but
Oh, it went
it's all
away.
gone away. All right, it's fine. We're good.
Oh.
Taking another picture. Go to her Instagram, Lauren Gardner. It's like, I forget what her actual
I think
tag
we need
is,
to
but
change this to the spanking hour, not the hockey happy hour at this point. But anyway,
all the hot girls are in hockey.
that is true.
That's not our fault.
They play hockey
It's
too.
a perk.
I mean,
It
seriously.
is a perk.
No, seriously. There's some. Have you ever seen? Have you ever
Just
seen?
follow him on Instagram.
I have my way. You have yours.
Brodo is taking pictures. The screen.
It's gonna.
Oh my god. One Brodo's getting closer.
That is not where I thought he was going.
Oh my god.
That's fine. That's better.
He's just triple clipping this thing, man.
From that angle,
I
you
thought.
can
Listen,
see
I
under the
thought he
skirt.
was taking. I thought he was taking his phone and the pictures of Lauren Gardner and heading out the door. He's like, "Ooh, better idea. I gotta go."
But close it on your way out. It's fucking cold outside. Anyway.
Oh my gosh! All right,
Oh,
so
stop. It's not that cold. We
we
got a
got-
mild winter. Stop it. It's cold.
yeah, it hasn't been that cold.
It's all right. Never mind.
All right, so
Hey.
Busted balls, man.
Stamkos ties it up for the Lightning from Stephanie Ann. She also says, "I really hope we're done with moves. I think my guys just need to get healthy. They have pieces in Syracuse to fill in."
Agreed.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
with the Blake Coleman deal, absolutely. That's you just added another 20-goal scorer into the mix for the Lightning. So that's
Yeah.
So to get back to her question from earlier, before we really jump into the trade talk here, she wants to know, what are the chances of Vancouver making the pick Tampa traded them in 2021? I think it's good.
I think it'll be fine. I think they'll probably make that pick. If I'm Vancouver, I would just have a few picks in the chamber. Even though I'm a rising team and I'm a buyer at the deadline,
So anyway, we can turn that light off.
still a part of that.
All right then. I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, I still see her.
We have.
What do you want?
I just want the light off.
You want the light off?
No, I'm just kidding.
He-
No, I wasn't being
No,
serious.
No, don't turn the light off because we don't know what he's going to do when the light's off. Just don't.
No, not that light.
Don't. Just don't. Next thing you
Everything's
know,
off. Computers off. Broadcast is over. We're done. Close it up.
Yeah. Next thing you know, we turn the lights back on, and the fans get a sneak preview of things they didn't want to see. Anyway.
Albert jokingly says, breaking news, Flyers acquiring Joe Tree Trunks Jackson from Switzerland in exchange for 2 future picks and cash considerations. I actually kind of thought this was serious at first because I know the Flyers did make a trade. Why? Siri, nobody asked you to open up. Anyway.
Oh, God, they're listening.
They are listening. I thought he was serious. See if it does it again. All right, we're good. Because the Flyers made a trade earlier for, or with the Rangers, giving the Rangers JF Berube for future consideration. So I thought at first it was what he was talking about, but that's fine.
It's just a depth.
It's just a joke.
It's just simple depth for, Hartford, Wolfpack for the Rangers. They needed a goalie, and so we sent them Jaguar. Berube. I hate that. Anyway. It's that JS thing that got me again. Anyway.
John Sebastian, my man.
So
That's a cup and nothing since. It's fine. It was 80s in Florida today. That must be nice. It was 35 here. I think it got there. It was 60. It was 60 degrees the other day. 63 degrees the other day. It was nice.
Take it where we can get it.
Hate New Jersey. And it's always the days that I'm not working are the days it's like this.
yeah, that's usually
I'm
how
working
it
on
is.
Tuesday. It's 63 degrees. I could have done something productive.
Like what?
Cleaning out my car.
I thought you were going to say your gutters for a second, and I was going to have to turn into a read.
No, I'll call Ambuck for that.
Oh, good. See? It all works out here.
Don't sleep in a guy nicknamed Tree Trunks. Bang, bang. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. To make room, a Cisco, Usisco, or however you spell his name.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Heard
Wait.
that.
Let me see.
I don't know.
What's
I don't
the-
even know if I say I have right name.
Where's the name?
It's right there. Yusuko. Yushisko.
Yushishko.
I don't even know if that's a real person. Anyway, trade talk.
I don't know if that's a real person.
Trade talk. Let's go.
All right. All right, so around the league, we are going to talk about the many trades that have happened before Monday's deadline. I'm sure there are plenty more that will still be done before we are officially finished with trades for the rest of the regular season.
Might just be getting warmed up.
Might be.
I don't know. A lot of the bigger names are moving already. It might be another trade down like it was last year where it's only minor deals.
Yeah.
So, with that, we get started off with the Jason Sucker trade that you called.
That I did call. Said he'd be a perfect fit for Pittsburgh, except for tonight. He's been really good. Traded Alex Galchenyuk, a defensive prospect, and a first-round pick. He has 4.2 left as a cap hit, and he's got 3 years left on his contract. So obviously you're going to give up a little bit more. Galchenyuk is probably walking out of Minnesota at the end of the year.
And isn't this his fourth team already in his young career?
Zucker or Galchenyuk?
Galchenyuk.
Galchenyuk. Montreal, Phoenix, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of youngsters on the move. We saw one tonight, too.
25 years old. Yeah, absolutely.
And for Columbus and Stephane Matteau.
Mm-hmm.
Which is he related to the Matteau from the mid '90s for the Rangers that scored?
I think they spell it differently.
Did they spell it differently?
I think so. I know who you're talking about. I think they spell it
I
differently.
thought it was his son, and you just named him the same name. You see that?
It's possible. It's very
Stephane
possible.
Matteau Jr. or the second. I think they're more of a second type of family.
Well, I mean, I just bring him up because he's been a bit of a bust. He was a high draft pick, and he's actually starting to show some of that promise again with the Blue Jackets. Part of the reason why they're in the playoff talk contention.
That's an interesting comment. Stephanie Ann says, well, she's not happy about the temps down in Florida that summer will begin in March, but she's also starting to think that maybe the Rangers won't sell. But she thinks they might be buyers.
I mean, they have crept back in the conversation, and I'm not surprised. We talked about how dynamic their offense has been all season, despite the early season losses.
I think
They trade a goalie, though. I'm calling that now. It's either going to be Lundqvist. He will waive his no trade clause and go to somewhere where he can compete for a cup, or it's going to be Georgiev.
Right, because they got Berube from the Flyers organization.
Well, they just got Berube, and then they have this other kid, Igor. I don't even know how to say his last name. It's super Russian.
It's super Russian. Racist. And
It's got nothing to do with race. It's the fact that I can't even pronounce his name. I can pronounce.
All bets are off then, man.
All bets are off. I have Russian in my blood.
He just whipped out the card.
yeah.
Boom! JVR to the
put it
Ducks.
back in
Stop
the-
it, David.
All right, put it back in the deck. Come on, let's go back to it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I see a goaltender going. That's it. That's pretty much all I see the Rangers doing. They're going to pick up some players, but they're in good shape. They're still in the hunt. They're not mathematically out. They will make a push, but I don't see them doing anything crazy.
Agreed.
David says, JVR to the Ducks. Get out of here, David.
No,
I told you, 3 names. 3 names last week. Ryan Donato.
1,
Kasperi Kapanen.
2,
Matt Dumba.
3.
Those are the 3 names. Those are the 3 players you want, not JVR.
What?
He's helping you.
No, he's not.
He's helping
Not when I can actually see what he's doing. 3 names. Those are the guys you want. They're younger players. They still have time left on their contract for a rebuilding team. Those are 3 guys you want. Not a guy who's making $7.5 million, can barely score 30 goals anymore. Sorry. Not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Stephanie Ann says they'll trade one of the 3 and get some. What?
The line for Wedding Crashers. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm a cocksmith.
Sure you are.
I am not.
No.
Okay. Far
Oh,
from
you
it.
see,
Far
now-
from it.
Stephanie Ann says they'll trade one of the 3 and get someone that can play now. I agree. I actually think the goalies that they have now can play now, including Hank, who's been struggling a bit, but he's also like 53.
Well, okay. Where do we see Henrik going?
If he goes anywhere,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me think about it for a
Avalanche.
minute. Maybe.
Maybe Vegas.
Nah, they're gonna rock with Fleury.
I don't know if that's a good idea at this point.
Nah,
That's
they're gonna
just
rock
me.
with Fleury.
Said the Renaissance
A little bit.
for the
All right.
flower.
What about now? Call me crazy. You think Columbus maybe?
Nah, their goaltenders are playing really well right now. The only reason why they look bad is they're so hurt.
I'm just saying, just for the season, it's a rental.
Well, I believe Henrik Lundqvist still has another year on his contract, so it wouldn't be just for a rental.
It may also be beneficial to a young goalie that they have.
Absolutely.
So,
But they have Corpusalo too, right?
They have Korpisalo, who I believe is hurt.
Korpisalo.
Yeah, he's
okay.
hurt, yeah.
Never mind. They have Korpisalo. I forgot about that.
And then the kid that was backing up tonight is a talent. I think JJ was talking about during the broadcast.
See, I'm trying to think of teams that are competitive right now that would be in the market for a goalie. And the problem is there's not many.
A lot of them are set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the confusing part of it is.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's not going to be anything more than maybe a platoon guy for the rest of the year, back up through the playoffs, but I don't know. Stephanie Ann says she was going to say Colorado. Who would you give up? What would you give up if he waives it?
I think honestly, I think you can give picks. Help. If the Rangers are moving in that direction.
Probably
for
a 20
retool.
like a 2020 second, maybe.
And maybe a lower end guy. If
Young goalie prospect in the organization.
Yeah. Something like that. Nothing serious. Usually with
That's actually one of the questions she asked was, could the Rangers get more picks and prospects? I think there's a couple young guys in that Colorado system that could fit well in the Rangers.
Right. And Colorado did have that one down year in between some good, strong years. So maybe they got,
Yeah, I think that was the year they got Mika Virtanen. So.
Yeah, truth.
Let's see what else we got here. Stephanie Hoover says, Lord Baby Jeebus, can you hear me? And then she goes on to say, Kapanen is not going to the Fox. Sorry, the Ducks. That's what you think. That's what you think.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're linked to him. Just saying.
Go get him, Flesh.
Stop it. David Roskis is Kapanen to the Ducks.
That was the best
deserve
timing.
that.
That was great timing.
I deserve that.
I do have the button right in front of me.
I know. David Roskis is Kapanen to the Ducks.
Now Now he's on
No,
it.
you're
Now he's
wrong.
drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I got to brainwash him.
You got to bring.
He's still a work in progress.
Wait a minute.
I'll get him
Did
though.
you say
Your
Kool-Aid?
protege. You'll
You-
mold him.
Did you just say
problem.
Kool-Aid and brainwashing? Your name's not Jones, is it?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that information.
Oh boy.
Do the Wild sell the house? Yes, I think they do.
Yeah, they are. They fired Bruce Boudreau. That's step number one.
I mean, they've just been a disappointing team. They've always been good offensively. They have some solid defenders, but I mean, Sutter's getting up there in age. Parisi's getting up there in age. I mean, they just have basically immovable contracts.
I could see. Yeah, that's the problem. Is that they got very bad contracts. Not too many teams are going to be willing to take those on, especially a competitive team too, because it's like if we got young talent, we're going to try and re-sign that shit.
They already
So,
sold. They already sold Zucker. So
Yeah, they did. that
Dumba's on the
already.
market. Brian Donato's on the market. I'm sure there's a couple other guys. So we move on here.
Yeah, Minnesota. I think we can officially say their window is closed officially.
So we were talking a couple weeks ago when it was just me and you. We were talking about Andy Green possibly being traded.
Yeah.
You called this one. Andy Green to the Islanders for a 2021 second-round pick.
It was just a good fit. They were in constant conversations at the time. And, you know, you don't often see a captain getting traded, but in this circumstance, it's exactly what the Devils needed to do, especially an aging defenseman that can help the Islanders, who I think that's their only weak point is just being defensively responsible off the counter rush.
Yeah. Blake Coleman being traded to the Tampa Bay Lightning, which I think is a great move for the Lightning. For Nolan Foote, who I believe was a top 3. No, he wasn't a top 3 pick. He was a top first-round pick. I want to say it was about 2 years ago.
Now is Nolan Foote related to Adam Foote?
I think so.
Yeah, because I thought the name was spelt the same way with the E at the end, which I always thought was funny that you just said foot and you didn't say footy or something like that. I thought it was a French name for the longest time.
It's one of my favorite hockey jerseys from another team is the classic Avalanche with the Sasquatch foot and an Adam Foote on the back.
Yeah.
That was a bad team, man.
They
Peter
were-
Forsberg, Joe Sakic, Adam Denmarsh.
You did not want to
Oh.
fuck with that team. Oza Lynch, you did not want to.
So I'm sure this is a trade that broke your heart. This is a trade I think is great for the Vancouver Canucks, getting Tyler Toffoli for Tim Schaller, Tyler Madden, a 2020 second-round pick, and a conditional pick.
That's okay. I didn't want Tyler Toffoli anyway.
I mean,
It's great. It's
could the Flyers have used him? Yes, but they would have had to have given too much in order to
Yeah.
get a rental, and then you're banking on having to re-sign him. And do you even have the need to re-sign him with the plethora of youth?
yeah.
It was a wish list, pipe dream. Didn't happen.
I
Good luck,
thought it was
Vancouver.
fairly realistic. I don't think it was much of a pipe dream, but now he's reunited, and it feels so good with Tanner Pearson, former Kings line mate, actually,
Truth.
when they were both with the Kings. So that's some
Makes
chemistry
it
that's
even
going to come
better
back.
fit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it makes sense. I think Vancouver is solidifying a run to the Cup right now.
Well, yeah, because they didn't expect to be here. They weren't supposed to be this good this soon, except you.
I called it.
Yeah, you did.
I called it.
They were building it up.
I'm just going based on the organization. So it's like in a wide open Pacific, why not go for it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I believe they're leading the Pacific Division as well. And they've just been a team that, you just lost the Sedin Twins a couple of years ago. You think that's going to help take this team a couple steps backwards?
Right.
No. They stayed right on course. Elias Pettersson is just an unbelievable player. Quinn Hughes has been great on the back end. They've brought in a bunch of veterans just to kind of fill the holes. And they brought in the right guys. And you're getting great goaltending out of Jacob Markstrom. This team, I projected them to be a wild card team to compete for the playoffs. I didn't expect them to be competing for the division itself.
And that was that's what I meant more for the division.
Yeah.
Brock Boser too. Don't forget about.
Yeah, unfortunately, Brock Besser, he's hurt right now.
Yeah, but he's
which
still,
is another reason why you bring in another guy like a Tyler Toffoli.
Yeah, but he contributed towards where they're
Absolutely.
at this point now.
Absolutely.
Is he gone long term for the rest of the season? Or
Didn't see it. I don't think it's rest of the season, but
Okay.
I didn't see it. I know he's hurt though.
Now I will say this too: whereas Vegas made that magical little run to the Cup, that was just a magical little run. If Vancouver manages to have a magical little run and get to the Stanley Cup Finals and lose, they, unlike Vegas, have a much better chance of returning to the Stanley Cup Finals and getting another opportunity at that Stanley Cup, even if they
Well,
were to lose.
I mean, I believe Vegas got to the Western Conference Finals last year, right?
No, they did not. They lost to the Sharks.
All right. Well, I mean, they still got to the playoffs 2 years in a row in their first 2 years of existence, and it's going to be 3.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not impressive. I'm just saying, like, whereas the Knights, that was a magic run. That was like a one-off thing that happened. Everything came together at the right time. They rallied around each other, and they made it happen. I think with Vancouver being young, hungry, and talented, there's a lot more. Because think about it this way. A lot of teams, especially in dynasty teams too, a lot of times they'll get to that final and they'll lose their first final. But then they return either the following year or a couple years later and they crush it and they win it. And then they start to become that perennial cup contender after the fact.
And
Crush.
you're going to see Vegas continue to compete. They built that team very well. A couple of comments here before we move on to the next one. Albert Armstrong says, bad contracts thanks to the Flyers' current GM, Fletcher, if I'm not mistaken. Scary. I don't think that's entirely true. Inherited. Yeah. Inherited's a better word. Brian Wilson chiming back in. What's up, Bri? Says, hopefully Caps keep losing. Maybe we can sneak into that second spot. Wishful thinking, I know. It's doable.
No,
It's not unrealistic.
Like I said,
Yeah, they're 4 points behind now. They were 6 going into tonight. So and the Caps lost, correct? To the
they got
Canadiens?
1 point, but yeah.
Oh, they got the 1 point. Yeah,
Yeah.
so 5-point differential.
Still.
That's a goal to shoot for too. Because to your point earlier in the show, you get that home ice advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Instant. I mean, not instant, but they've been pretty dominant at home.
Yeah, they may very well have punched their ticket to finally being in a semifinal matchup for the first time since 2011. So,
All right, so we're just going to run through a couple of these real quick, a couple of minor, major ones. Dylan DeMello getting traded to the Jets for a third in 2020. Brendan Dillon, longtime Shark, actually just had an emotional interview the day before he gets traded to the Capitals for a 2020 second and a 2021 conditional third. I'm sure that all these conditions here have to do with these players re-signing.
yeah.
Marco Scandella, who was traded to the Montreal Canadiens earlier this season, traded from Montreal to St. Louis, who made his debut tonight, for a 2020 second round and a conditional fourth in 2021. And one that I think we need to discuss for a minute here is the Knights acquiring Alec Martinez for 2020 and a 2021 second round pick.
A lot of D-men getting moved.
A lot of D-men early.
Yeah.
I think this is a great move. I think that's something that's been hurting them a little bit this year is defensive depth. I'm sure they have probably a long-term injury that I'm blanking on right now, which is why they make the move for Martinez. But it's a fresh start for him, and it's just another piece to them getting back to the Western Conference Finals for the Knights for, the second out of 3 years. That's fucking impressive.
That's very impressive for the expansion club out there in Vegas.
Yep. Stephanie Ann says, good point, but Vancouver will fail again. Not that I have any room to talk, especially after last year. I'm just saying. Stephanie Hoover says, I'm going to drive down to D.C. and throw those 700 pucks all around the ice. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. 700 pucks just sitting on ice.
Yeah.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
It would be a good sight to see.
I mean, Vancouver, yeah, they have their sins, but to be fair, I mean, they had the Cup won in 2011.
It's a double check.
Yeah,
Get some.
that's going to be Hayes' new nickname, the double check. But
Just stole it from Aaron Rodgers.
who cares? Well, I'll take it. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. Hopefully we'll win a cup. But anyway.
I love how everybody's clinging to Kevin Hayes. I'm like, this is a great signing from the get-go.
Now, hey, listen, though. I'm going to be the first one to say this, and I will always be honest with you. I was not sure about that at the very beginning. So I will be the first one to admit that from the very beginning. I wasn't sure about it. So
I'm not right very often, but I was right about that one.
He's come in and played a better brand of hockey than we ever saw him wearing a blue shirt.
yeah, that's what threw me off. That's why I wasn't sure about the length. But hey, look at it now.
And look at the asset he's been on the penalty kill.
Big
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. He's been an asset on the penalty kill for every team he's been on. Like that's part of the reason why he got the contract he did, and he didn't get it for his offensive numbers. He got it for leadership and his ability to play two-way hockey.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, also I will say this too. One last thing to piggyback off Vancouver. I think now is a perfect time for them, and the only reason why is because Luongo, as good as he was, Luongo had those moments where he was very bad. And I think he was a perfect example. I think he was a bit of a head case, not a lot, but there were times where it's like, what the hell is wrong with him? He should be better than this, great even, and he's given up 5 goals. He would do that at times. It's like, I understand goalies have bad nights, but it's like it's almost like it was a guarantee. It's almost a guarantee one team was going to get in his head, and it happened in 2011. It really did. Whereas I don't know about the goalies right now. They're young, so we'll see what happens with them. And as for 94, they were kind of fucked from the beginning because it's like you're facing Mark Messier and the New York Rangers. Sorry, guys. Sorry. You guys had a great team, but they had a better team. It was just as simple as that. But anyway, all right. Any more trade talk?
Nope.
All right, then. So with that, the trade talk is officially over. And now it's time to talk about any other major headlines going on around the NHL. We did talk about Vancouver playoff expectations.
We did, and we touched briefly on Alex Ovechkin. Unfortunately, he did not get to 700 tonight. He does have 699.
Creeping in, though.
One
more.
In.
Would it be the 8th player ever to get 700?
Yep.
Yeah. And we started the talk here, man, in terms of could he catch Gretzky.
He will. I know he will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm so sure about that.
I'm a believer now.
I know we're running short on time here, so we got to
all right,
let's get to the box.
So, yes, that's
penalty
it.
box.
I'm ready
love
for the
it.
penalty box.
It's time for the penalty box.
Bring it back.
All right, guys. So, with this returning...
We got to get that old sound clip back.
We do. We do. We'll show it. We'll show it. But, so, with that, we will dive into who is next in the penalty box. And we'll start off with me. And I will throw the entire Columbus Blue Jackets team into the penalty box. Why? Because you guys lost a home and home. You should have at least won the game tonight. You guys failed miserably. So you're thrown into the box for sucking when you shouldn't. That's as simple as that. Hey, I'm happy you guys did. But at the end of the day, though, you guys should have won at least one of those bad boys.
Left anyway.
You done fucked up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In case you never knew of the penalty box in the past, this is an opportunity where we can throw anybody in. It could be in the hockey world, it could be in the greater sports world, the entertainment world, where we throw them in the box for 2 minutes to think of what they've done.
Yep.
Can I go next?
Absolutely.
Sure, Bri.
Let it rip.
Oh, it's going to rip. The guy I put in the penalty box is the head of the Department of Player Safety, George Peros, and that fucking ridiculous suspension he gave Zach Kassian, that unjustified suspension he gave to Evander Kane. And I have his quote, and I will read it off in a minute. Zach Kassian kicked a player with a skate. It's not like he kicked it like a soccer ball. He used it as a fucking weapon, which could have made a huge mess and could have severely hurt a Tampa Bay Lightning player.
If it wasn't for his shoulder pads.
If he had slipped just slightly enough, that player would have been fighting for his life.
If he had hit his ribs,
if he had hit his rib, he could have caused damage to his rib cage. You gave him 7 games. 7. That's ridiculous. He put a player's life at stake. Now, granted, I could be blowing it a little bit out of proportion.
Not at all.
But those skate blades are razor fucking sharp.
No, you're not blowing it out of proportion. It's been 2 times in the history of the NHL someone's gotten their neck cut by a skate. That's how sharp they are. There's a reason why the goalies wear that little plastic neck cover, because of what happened all those years ago.
Right. I mean, you hit him in the sternum, could have easily caught him in the neck or the face. When you lift
He
up
didn't
his
miss
skate.
by much.
Yeah. Right.
He put enough effort in it that it could have severely hurt him, maybe even killed him.
I'm surprised it was less than 10 games. I was expecting 10 games as a minimum.
And it's not even like he's not a repeat offender. He's been suspended before.
Right.
We know the type of player that he is.
And we got to wheel this back. Think about when Rafi Torres came back and
they suspended him for 30 games for punching a guy.
Yeah.
So, and this is going to jump into Evander Kane, who's got a 3-game suspension for elbowing. This is what he said. He ripped the Department of Player Safety. The fact the NHL Department of Player Safety, headed by George Peros, continue to pick and choose who and what they suspend is ridiculous. There have been countless incidents of the same nature through the season and past and have gone unsuspended or fined. No one person can tell you what is or isn't a suspension in today's game. It's a complete guess. There is a major lack of consistency with the NHL Department of Player Safety, a completely flawed system in so many ways. From the suspension to the appeal rights, it's baffling to me on how we as players agree to this. You can't continue to give some players a pass and throw the book at others. There are outside third parties making decisions to remove the bias that transpires in this. And I can't agree with that more. Zach Cassian should have been suspended for the rest of the season. A minimum. A minimum.
Wow.
He not only should have been suspended for the rest of the season, he should have been fined heavily for what he did. Like, simply
You want to talk about player safety? That's player safety right there.
Yeah,
Truth.
like that.
True.
That's the
Yeah.
most egregious incident in the last 6 years, I would say, of a player being in danger out there on the ice. And listen, which is ironic that George Peros is the head of player safety.
I don't listen.
But
I usually don't complain about
It is
suspensions,
ironic.
and I usually don't get riled up like this. But that could have ended so badly.
it could have.
That could have ended so badly. We could have had our third incident in NHL history of a player having his throat cut, but this time, instead of being accidental like the last two, this would have been on purpose.
Yeah.
This would have been on purpose. He purposely did that.
Yeah, if you're going to
It wasn't an accident.
And if you're going to, and like we said about Rafa Torres, if you're going to suspend him for 30 games for hitting somebody in the head, which was no go back, which is no go now, guess what? That's even worse because, yeah, Rafi hit the guy in the head, and at the end of the day, he did go out on a stretcher. But you know what? Zach Cassian could have killed him. And not saying it, either one should be guilty here, but at the end of the day, like, that's even worse than what Rafi Torres did.
It's another example of, inconsistency with the Department of Player Safety. Because I believe at that point, it was whoever was before Brendan Shanahan. I don't remember who was before Brendan Shanahan, but he did a lousy job as well. I'm not the one who usually complains about suspensions, but that's a fucking joke.
That is a joke.
7 games for kicking a player in the chest is a fucking joke. I'm done. I'm good.
So, in the box for stupidity and for failing at your job. All right, next up.
All right, I'll be quick because Wilson just said we're starting to get static on Facebook again. Rob Manfred. I'm going outside the hockey world, and I'm throwing him in the penalty box. I wish I could throw this whole Astros cheating scandal in the box because it's ridiculous the way people are making a big deal out of it. I'm a baseball purist, right? And I get cheating's wrong, but cheating's been in the game since it was invented. And just because technology has advanced, now all of a sudden it's like a Black Sox scandal can be in comparison to that.
Yeah.
It's gotten egregious. You get caught cheating, okay. You got caught. You do the penalty. You make your stupid apologies, which is all we heard from the Astros, just straight out lying to Ken Rosenthal.
At least make it believable, though.
Right. Well, this is taking a toll on Rob Manfred, and he basically called the commissioner's trophy a piece of metal, belittling it like, what does it matter? It's a piece of metal. Who has it from 2017, the Astros and Dodgers, right? And here's why I'm throwing him in the box. He defended this comment by saying, I had a long day on Sunday. I think I did 45 minutes on camera, and then I did a press conference. Aw, that's your long day? Go fuck yourself. I'm done.
And you make how many millions of dollars a year? Fuck off, dude.
That's your long day?
Yeah.
45-minute?
45 minute, and
Come on now.
you can go and eat at a 5-star fucking restaurant that makes those little tiny fucking steaks. Yeah, fuck off, dude. You're a fucking piece of shit. He's got the
That's what
money.
I do.
What?
I go work in a restaurant and I make little tiny fucking steaks. What
No.
you trying to say?
I'm not talking anything about the restaurant. I'm talking about the guy himself. He can afford to eat at a place like that, but he's bitching
okay,
and
I got
moaning
you,
about
I got
being in
you.
front of the camera,
All right,
and he's got
we're good.
millions of dollars to spend.
Thought you were ripping what I did.
No.
Just-
I wasn't ripping a professional.
No.
No.
It's all good. I rip it all the time. Just saying. Throwing it out there.
All right, guys. So that is our penalty box. We'll be doing this week to week. We will find something or somebody, and we will be throwing them into the box, hockey or not.
It could be me. It probably will be me eventually.
At some point, I'm sure we all will.
I'll go sit in the corner and think of what I've done.
We need to get an actual penalty box built here.
Yes.
We'll have to get the construction crew on that. But anyway.
Manfred shops at Whole Foods.
All right.
That's good.
Albert's got some good ones. I like him.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
No doubt.
you can come back, Albert. Come on back, man. We
like
want you back every week.
Oh, he loves what we do. He loves what we do.
All right. All right, guys. So that'll do it for this edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. We thank you all for joining us, for all the new people who joined in from the fam, and for all the people who returned. Thank you very, very much, no matter where you are watching us from or listening to us from. And we were brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. You can contact Dr. Paul Vidal. He'll take care of all the aches and pains or all the issues you got going on. Maybe not mental, but still. Maybe not. Every once in a while,
He's offered some therapy on A2D before.
Yeah, so,
Talked us down from a ledge.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
So, hey, go to him. If you got any aches and pains, you won't have them any longer. And you can find him at www.specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We thank you for joining us. We will see you next week, 10 o'clock sharp, right here on A2DRadio.com. Night, everyone.
Don't forget the hookers and blow.
Oh my God.